and welcome. You're watching Sports Buzz, where we bring you all that's making news from the world of sports. I'm Samriddhi Goyal. Let's get started. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and Union Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur felicitate Tokyo 2020 Paralympic medal winners. New Zealand books its place in the finals of the T20 World Cup tournament after thrashing England by 5 wickets in the first semi-final. Daryl Mitchell plays a crucial role in the victory with an unbeaten innings of 72 runs off 47 balls. In the second semi-final of the T20 World Cup today, Australia to lock horns with Pakistan at Dubai International Cricket Stadium. Both teams prepping to reach the finals. Pakistan unbeaten in the tournament till now. Australia too in great form. Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime beats Filip Krajinovic at the second round of the Stockholm Open. Former world number 1 Andy Murray beats Italy's Jannik Sinner in straight sets in the second round to face Tommy Paul next. Well, Union Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath felicitated the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic medal winners from across the country today. The event was organized by Uttar Pradesh government. For medal winners from UP, the state government has also awarded the cash prize of rupees 6 crore for gold, rupees 4 crore for silver and rupees 2 crore for bronze medal winners. Medalists from other states received rupees 2 crore for gold, rupees 1.5 crore for silver and rupees 1 crore for bronze. In the event, Union Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said that the central government's top scheme is opening new paths for athletes.
टॉप स्कीम ऐसी है टारगेट ओलंपिक पोडियम स्कीम, जिसके माध्यम से हमने खिलाड़ियों को देश और विदेश में भारत सरकार के खर्चे पर रहने का, खाने पीने का, ट्रेनिंग का पूरा खर्चा दिया, 50,000 रुपया जेब खर्च भी दिया और इसके साथ साथ इवेंट्स भी, खेलो इंडिया जैसे प्रोग्राम, यूथ गेम्स और यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स दोनों ही करवाने का काम किया है। और हमारा प्रयास है, उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार ने जो शानदार शुरुआत उत्तर प्रदेश में खेलों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए की, मैं यही कहना चाहता हूं, उत्तर प्रदेश एक ऐसा प्रदेश है जो देश को नई दिशा दे सकता है।
Team Australia will be up against Team Pakistan in the second semi-final match of the T20 Cricket World Cup today at Dubai International Cricket Stadium. In our next report, we bring you a match preview of the Super Semi-Finals.
Australia and Pakistan will be locking horns in the second semi-final of the ongoing T20 Cricket World Cup. The semi-finals will be played at Dubai International Stadium and both the teams have had a great performance in the tournament so far. Pakistan has won all their matches before the semi-finals, whereas on the other hand, Australia as well have just lost a single match against Team England. But the big thing is that Australia's team is back in rhythm, and that too at the right time. Team captain Aaron Finch is once again blasting, while David Warner's explosive style can also become a matter of concern for Team Pakistan. Australia have a very strong fast bowling attack comprising of Josh Hazlewood, Mitchell Starc and Pat Cummins, while leg spinner Adam Zampa has done well in the middle overs. Pakistan's team is being seen as a balanced team in this World Cup, where both batsman and bowler have performed their roles properly. So far, there have been 22 T20 matches between these two teams, in which Pakistan has won 13, while Australia has won 9 matches. While in the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup, these two teams have faced each other 6 times, in which both have got successes 3 times each. With a strong head-to-head record against each other, Pakistan and Australia will be vouching to book their berth in the final of the T20 Cricket World Cup to play against Team New Zealand. Sports Desk, TD India.
Well, the match preview. And now let's take a look at the possible Super 11 who can make it to the final playing 11 in the semi-final match today. Well, the probable Australia 11 are going to be David Warner, Aaron Finch, Mitchell Marsh, Glenn Maxwell, Stephen Smith, Marcus Stoinis, Matthew Wade, Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc, Adam Zampa and Josh Hazelwood. Let's also take a look at the possible 11 from Team Pakistan, who may just as well be the final 11 playing against the Australians today. And the team may comprise of Mohammad Rizwan, Babar Azam, Fakhar Zaman, Mohammad Hafiz, Shoaib Malik, Asif Ali, Shadab Khan, Imad Wasim, Hassan Ali, Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shah Afridi. Well, apart from the playing 11, the toss is also going to play a very crucial role today, as we have seen before that the team bowling in the second innings struggles with the dew factor. Hence, in today's match too, the team who wins the toss will most likely choose to bowl first, sending the other team to bat first. And now let's further take a look at the pitch. The match will be played at the Dubai International Stadium between Australia and Pakistan in the second semi-final of the ongoing T20 Cricket World Cup today. Now, the pitch at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium is batter friendly. Bowlers will have a role to play in middle orders. Average first innings total at Dubai International Stadium in the T20Is is 141 and average second innings total is 123. Now, New Zealand are into the finals of the T20 Cricket World Cup with a consistent record in the ICC events. Let's take a look in our next report to track New Zealand's consistent record in the T20 and the ODIs.
The ICC T20 Cricket World Cup is etching history this time in many ways. While creating many firsts and witnessing many historic turnarounds, the race for the finals is becoming even more interesting as the days are progressing. New Zealand have already booked their berths for the finals of the T20 Cricket World Cup after their dramatic chase over England in the semi-final match. Let's take a look at some of the interesting elements backed with facts based on Team New Zealand. The first ever T20 international final for the Black Caps. New Zealand's thrilling 5 wickets victory in the semi-final sailed them to their first ever final. Twice had they failed to cross the semi-final stage in the past, and in the year 2007 New Zealand lost to Pakistan in Cape Town, whereas in 2016 New Zealand lost to England in New Delhi. Since the year 2015, New Zealand have reached the final in 3 out of 4 World Cups. New Zealand were earlier the runner-up in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup in the year 2015 and 19. Let's take a look at the team of New Zealand. New Zealand have best match-winning record in last 4 World Cups across ODI and T20 formats. Since the year 2015, New Zealand have won 23 out of 30 matches in the World Cups. Their winning percentage with 76.67 is the highest for any team. New Zealand's consistency record. In the last 6 years itself, New Zealand have made it to the finals of 4 ICC events. New Zealand is currently top-ranked Test and ODI sides in the world, and they are also placed 4th in T20 internationals. 2 New Zealand players each are in the top 10 Test rankings for the batters category. In ODI ranking for batters, Ross Taylor is at 4th and Williamson is at 9th position. With a consistent record in ICC events, Team New Zealand will look forward to etch history in the finals of the T20 Cricket World Cup with having upper hand and a re-energized team composition. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, that was New Zealand's track record. Joining us now is our sports correspondent Deepika Mehto to give us the latest updates on the T20 cricket tournament. Now, Deepika, today's match, Australia versus Pakistan, both aiming to book a place in the finals. Looking at the team lineup, what do you think should be the strategy for each?
Both the teams are really strong, Australia and Pakistan. Pakistan is the only unbeaten team till now who has won all the matches in their group stages, and they are finally into the semi-finals, playing on the second semi-final day at the Dubai International pitch. Talking about the strategy, the main important factor here is the toss, because the match will be played at Dubai International Stadium, where dew will be playing a very crucial factor. So the team whosoever wins and chooses to bowl first will be having an extra advantage over the team who would be going to bat first. So the first step where both the teams would be looking forward to strategize their next steps, and the entire tournament would be dependent on that, is the toss factor, that whichever team wins the toss will choose to bowl first. That is the first factor. Talking about the second factor, because both the teams have already faced each other before in the round robin format, so Australia and Pakistan both are having a background of both the teams, they know about both the teams, how are they going to play. The batting order, the bowling order, both the teams are actually really strong in all their departments: fielding, batting, bowling. So here the strategy will be largely dependent on the toss.
Right. Now, both the teams, like you just said, are in a great form. Pakistan has been unbeaten till now, and Australia too is performing brilliantly lately. So who do you think has a better chance, has a fair chance?
If we look at the past records, then Pakistan has remained unbeaten. However, Australia has never lost a match in knockout tournaments. So this is going to be an interesting factor, because Pakistan has remained unbeaten in the group stage matches. But then Australia, if you talk about Australia, it's altogether a very strong team. And also one major thing is that there are two players, including Shoaib Malik, who did not participate in the practice match yesterday because they were having flu. So they might miss, and they might be missing from the playing 11 today from Team Pakistan. That could really play a major factor in their playing lineup and weaken up their playing 11 against Team Australia. If this happens, then the ball goes towards Team Australia. But otherwise, if you look at the group stage matches record, Pakistan looks strong.
Okay, we got the answer. So thank you for joining us and for those latest updates, Deepika. Thank you. Well, the ICC T20 rankings have been released before the first semi-final of the ICC T20 World Cup. Now, Pakistan captain Babar Azam continues to top the latest rankings. Now, at the same time, Indian captain Virat Kohli, who is out of the Super 12, has suffered a loss in the rankings. Virat Kohli has slipped to the 8th place in the ranking and has averaged 33 in this T20 World Cup, whereas KL Rahul has gained 3 places due to his brilliant batting and scored the highest 194 runs for India in 5 matches of the T20 World Cup. Now, in this ranking, South Africa's Aiden Markram has also improved 3 positions and is currently at number 3. Talking about the bowlers, no Indian has unfortunately been included in the top 10. Vanindu Hasranga, however, is at number 1 at before. Brazil's national soccer team trained in Sao Paulo ahead of the World Cup qualifier against Colombia. With 31 points, Brazil currently holds the first place of the South American qualifying group. Last month, Brazil faced Colombia in Barranquilla in a match that was tied at 0, which had scored in all the past games of the qualifiers. In the qualifiers table, Colombia has 3 wins and sits in the 4th positions with 16 points. Coach Tite said he is sure that the mark is enough for the team to qualify for Qatar 2022. However, he does not take his victory over the Colombian team for granted.
For me, with the score we have right now, we have classified for the World Cup. And unlike the first stage, we are now headed towards the stage of specific preparation for the World Cup, where we'll face, for example, and it could happen, Colombia's team in the quarterfinals or in the knockout stages.
Now, optimism is rising in Argentina's national soccer team as Lionel Messi participated in the last training session before the World Cup qualifier against Uruguay on Friday. Messi has recovered from a left leg injury for which he flew to Madrid to seek advice from the specialist. He was seen training without any restrictions during practice. Argentina's national team is in the 2nd place of the South American qualifying group, 6 points behind leader Brazil. Uruguay's team holds the 5th place in the South American standing. Moving on to tennis, Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime beat Filip Krajinovic 6-3, 6-4 on Wednesday at the second round of the Stockholm Open. The number 2 seed, the highest seed in currently which is left in the tournament after Jannik Sinner was knocked out of the tournament earlier in the day by Andy Murray, will now face Dutchman Botic Wande Zandschulp. Former world number 1 Andy Murray beat Italy's young starlet Jannik Sinner in straight sets on Wednesday to move past the second round of the Stockholm Open. The Scot continues his comeback following years of injuries by taking out the top seed at the tournament in Sweden 7-6, 6-3. Now Murray's next opponent is going to be Tommy Paul, who has beaten compatriot Taylor Fritz 6-4, 6-4 in their game. Also, Canada's Denis Shapovalov played aggressively against Italian Andrea Vavasori to win 7-6, 6-1 and set up a third-round clash with Frenchman Arthur Rindeneck. American France's Tiafoe beat Spain's Pedro Martinez 6-4, 6-4 to set up a clash against fourth-seeded Brit Dan Evans. Let's take a quick break and come back with more on sports.
With the world's largest COVID vaccination drive, India is leading the way. As the vaccine reaches every corner of the nation, do not forget the mantra, Dawai bhi, kadai bhi. Let's continue our fight against COVID-19. Vaccination along with social distancing, sanitization and masks.
Mask up, India!
Put your mask on and cover your nose and be safe.
Mask up, India.
Welcome back. Any official protest zones at the Beijing Winter Olympics will depend on local public health measures against COVID-19 at the next time of the February Games. Now, human rights activists have targeted the February 4 to 20 Games over China's treatment of minorities in its northwest. China rejects accusations of crimes against humanity and genocide. At the 2008 Beijing Summer Games, 3 designated demonstration zones were set up in public parks, although none saw any protests. Juan Antonio Samaranch, the International Olympic Committee's coordination mission chair for Beijing 2022, told reporters the right to protest was enriched in the host city contract.
This is a celebration of humanity. And this is why everybody is gathering in Beijing. And we'll be living together in the Olympic Village and competing together. This is what we do. We celebrate humanity. We are about building bridges. We are about extending hand across the table. And I say this is probably what the world is in need at present. It's an event where we do just that. Everybody is welcome in Beijing in February. We should not erect walls or build on tensions which are already many across the globe. We are just the reverse. We celebrate humanity, and we should all, including you, be proud to be part of the movement that does this. Nowadays, to extend hand across the table is not always easy, and this is what we do.
A serious training accident on the Beijing Olympic luge track is under investigation, and any conclusions will be implemented in time for the Games in February. Polish luger Mateusz Soszowicz has successful surgery after fracturing his left kneecap and cutting his right leg to the bone when he hit the barrier at the Yanking National Sliding Center. The Polish Toboggan Sports Association said in a statement that the athlete hit a closed crossing gate that should have been left open. Now, the 25-year-old luger said the track team was slow to react and he spent half an hour on the ice before being taken to the hospital. Juan Antonio Samaranch, the IOC's head of the Coordination Commission for the Beijing Olympics, which starts on February 4th, expressed support and sympathy for Soszowicz. Samaransh said the track had received extraordinary marks for its safety and its quality from the two international federations that used it at recent test events.
The track and the circumstances under which this accident happened are being investigated by both the federation and the organizing committee very seriously, and if there are lessons to be learned, as probably there will, we will implement them and have plenty of time to implement. The course, according to the reviews by both international federations that use it in recent weeks, has got extraordinary good marks for its safety and its quality. And we need to wait now for to see how the investigation goes ahead. But certainly we are close to the athlete, as it could not be in any other way, and we will make sure that he's in the best conditions and recovers the sooner the possible.
The Manchester United star player Marcus Rashford received the MBE from Prince William's on Tuesday in a face-to-face ceremony that was held almost after a year and was earlier delayed due to the pandemic. The next report brings you all about Rashford's noble initiative and the importance of the MBE.
Footballer Marcus Rashford has been made an MBE for his services to vulnerable children at an investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle held on Tuesday. Rashford was joined by his mother, Melanie, whose work around food poverty has seen a food bank warehouse named after her. The 24-year-old footballer has been recognized for his drive to ensure that no child in need went hungry during the pandemic. About Rashford's noble initiative. In March 2020, Rashford took to social media to highlight his fears about the impact that shutting schools would have on disadvantaged children. His subsequent campaigning to ensure no vulnerable children went hungry in the UK resulted in the government changing policy over its free school meal vouchers during the lockdown. Rashford demanded that the UK government should end the prevailing child poverty in the country. Rashford then launched a public petition detailing how important it is to eradicate the social issue. Later on, Rashford also teamed up with FareShare, formulating a scheme designed to ensure that the community's most vulnerable should not stay hungry. The Manchester United star demanded for an extension of the scheme, which allows around 1.3 million children to claim free school meal vouchers in England's summer holidays. Further, the England international also helped raise over £20 million, which helped millions of vulnerable families with sufficient food parcels. 24 years old Marcus Rashford, who's now being recognized for his drive to ensure that no child in need should sleep hungry, and especially during the pandemic, received a lot of praise from around the world, along with a member of the Order of the British Empire, or the MBE. Let's now understand what exactly we mean by MBE. An MBE is an Order of the British Empire award. It is the third highest ranking order of the British Empire award. CBE is the first, while OBE is the second ranked British Empire award. MBE is awarded to someone for making a positive impact in their line of work. Rashford's honour was part of the first face-to-face ceremony Prince William has hosted since the start of the pandemic. Marcus Rashford, which is already a household name for every Manchester United fan, has etched his name in the books of history with not only his record numbers of 120 goals in 238 matches for the Red Devils within his tender age, but also for his noble initiative for the society as well. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, that's all we have for you in today's edition of Sports Buzz. Do stay tuned into DD India for the latest news updates. Thanks for watching.